The real-life John Deere 850K Dozer has a 205 horsepower engine and has an operating weight just over 46,000 pounds. This model is made in 1/50th scale by ERTL, and it is part of ERTL's Prestige collection. So it is my job, not only as a model reviewer on YouTube, but also as a fellow model enthusiast, to point out not just the pros of each model, but unfortunately each model's cons as well. As you'll see in a minute, at least in my opinion, this model has far more cons going for it than it does pros, but I'll leave that up to you to decide. So first things first, getting this model out of the box, which is another issue that I'll tackle here in just a second, but the tracks had to be refit to this model, and there was actually one link that was missing. So really, I've had this model for a few weeks now, but finally just the missing link piece came in, and I was able to, after an hour-long battle, be able to refit the tracks onto the sprocket. But besides that, the tracks are metal, and they do look decent. The rollers don't roll at all. They're just molded into the metal casting. But if you have any surface that has any bit of resistance on it, the tracks will roll, just not on a smooth surface. Up here on the engine housing, it has some replicated grill perforations that are just simply painted on there, or in this case, a sticker on there. The door does open, as you can see here, and you can close it up tight, so it sits flush with the body and there aren't any unsightly pieces of it sticking out. The 850K and LGP graphics are really tiny, but they look good. A plus point is that the whole cab can be tilted to the rear so that you can pose this machine getting some maintenance done on it if that's what you desire. There are a ton of, in my opinion, very obtrusive silver screw heads or rivet heads that would have looked a lot better painted, both on the cylinder jackets themselves and also on the blade assembly. I apologize about the lighting situation. I'm still trying to get that rectified, but bear with me until then. On the blade, it is painted silver gray, which looks decent. Has a good range of both left to right movement. And this is about as high as it'll raise. And it'll go down to a depth just under the machine, but it's not really strong enough to where it will hold it up off the ground by itself. It has a replicated chrome exhaust that's made of metal and a plastic air cleaner. Finally, looking at the rear, there's a nice Deere graphic here and some lights, as well as a metal air conditioning unit, and a replicated tow hitch here that's just, again, molded into the casting so you can't really remove it. Lastly, I just want to point out the box that this comes in. The easiest way I can think to describe it to you guys is that it's very similar to unboxing, a Matchbox or a Hot Wheel vehicle from our childhood. And what I mean by that is once you get this model out, there's certainly no way you're going to be able to put it back in again. And even more significant than that is that if you're in this as not only as a hobby, but also as possibly an investment, or you may want to sell your models, or even if you just want to protect your model when you're done out displaying it, you can't really put it back in the box and have it reseal. And that is a huge disappointment, especially when other ERTL models don't have that problem. Here's the box. Again, 850K. Picture of the machine on the side, and a nice picture on the reverse side with just a few specification details here that if I had a decent lighting situation, you would actually be able to read. But overall, if you're into either ERTL or John Deere equipment, and you can accept the shortfalls that come with this model, it is overall affordable, and it is a decent model. But really, there's unquestionably some better choices out there. But again, if you're a John Deere fan, then perhaps you might want to pick this one up. So as always, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.